Hello there my friends, I am the editor and welcome back to Cut and Print. Here I look at episodes suggested by you, the audience, and review them accordingly. Well, we're here at last, the final episode in the Rainbow story arc, and the final two-parter of Season 4. So let's get started. This is Twilight's Kingdom. So this all starts off with us returning to the Crystal Empire, and I'm glad to see that we're back here. I've always had a soft spot for this place when it comes to designing. Now that I think about it, this place made of crystals, I'm surprised Sapphire Heartsong hasn't moved here already. Just an idea, Sappy. Just make sure Manga doesn't steal all the shiny stuff.
Seems like only yesterday I was saving this place from being totally destroyed. Hey, you guys remember that?
You only mentioned it about 15 times on the train here.
Well, that's pot calling the pony black.
Point taken.
Anyway, the point for the whole thing is so that the princesses of Equestria can come and meet up with the royal delegates. However, Twilight's duty is simply to just smile and wave and, well, unravel a flag to welcome them. Got to admit, not really a big deal. Couldn't they just, like, have shining armor to do that, being captain of the guard and all that, and husband to one of the princesses?
The Duke and Duchess of Mertonia.
Okay, a few things here. One, Grey Flash Sentry, because we needed to remind everyone that he still exists in the MLP, and that he's not just there to be a pointless plot filler for the movies. Either that or Vincent Tong needs the money. I'm sure all those small paychecks must add up. Number 2, what the hell are these designs? We've gotten Queen Amidala from the Phantom Menace, a weird looking paperweight pony, the Queen of England, and Napoleon? Were you all running out of ideas at this point? And 3.
That was it? Princess Celestia had you come all the way to the Crystal Empire just to do that?
Spike, how can I put this? Shut up!
Thank you for understanding our desire to keep the number of those privy to these confidential discussions to a minimum.
You do realise that Twilight has helped out more times than any of the other princesses in the show, right? I mean, Cadence came in season 2 ago, and all she did was get married during a pest control problem and get thrown like an Angry Bird, making it first come first serve. Dick a move. I may be a bad pony for saying this, but this song is pointless. And the visuals of the princesses flying in a circle is ridiculous. Also, all I think about when I'm watching it is this.
Everything you know is wrong. Black is white, up is down, and short is long. And everything you thought was just so important doesn't matter. Can
we just skip this, please? I know that Twilight is depressed about wanting to find her place among royalty and that it's her character development, but that song, it ruins it. Let's just move on. Anyway, we finally get to something exciting in the episode. A very memorable character from the original series who, after all that has happened, they're bringing him into the show. I'm happy.
Is he friend or is he foe? The pony wonders. I can assure you, I am no friend. I am Lord Tirek. And I will take what should have been mine long ago.
Okay, that's genuinely scary. First off, I was a little bit confused as to why Tirek was a decrepit, withered old bone of bags when we get introduced to him. But without any word or any explanation, the answer was revealed to me. He can absorb the magic of unicorns to make himself more powerful. Very clever design idea. Secondly, with the hooded cloak, it comes across as a Chancellor Palpatine reference.
I am Lord Tirek.
Strike me me down with all of your hatred, and your journey towards the dark side will be complete.
Timeless classic. And finally, that chuckle and that visual at the end of his appearance. That is bucking terrifying to children. I love this guy already. Anyway, all of this alerts Celestia and Luna, and they're quick to show and tell about the past of Tirek and Scorpan, to which it was said that Tirek was sent to Tartarus. And Luna even states that when Cerberus came to Ponyville, in It's About Time, was when they believe he escaped. It's interesting to think that they could have very well have set this character up all that long ago until they were confident to make a full-fledged episode. But that does raise one question about what Tirek was doing the entire time. He could have absorbed a lot of ponies in that time, and have had at least a good percentage of power to take on the princesses. Granted, Celestia said he only just started getting his power back after being in Tartarus that long. So if that's the case, how did he escape in the first place? It's just that bit spoils the theory a little. Besides that, I'm good. And something needs to be done about it.
And I know just the princess who could stop him. Yes!
I'm afraid I must call in another to stop Tirek. Discord.
Yep, yet again, she denies her any responsibilities. Nightmare Moon, Discord, Changelings, Sombra. But you won't let her deal with a weak, lacking full-strength centaur. No, instead ask the slightly reformed Spirit of Chaos. Gee, Celestia, where were you when the brains were given out? Anywho, being as bored as she is, Twilight decides to go to the castle of the two sisters. Along the way, they run into Reference Cord. Yes, I'm calling him that. Why? Well, let's see if any of these ring a bell, shall we? Get the picture? Anyway, Discord admits to reading Twilight's friendship journal that the main six have been keeping up to date with the lessons that they learnt in their Rainbow Key episodes.
I'll bring the cucumber sandwiches.
Okay, out of all of them, that one sticks out the most to me. Meanwhile, as Tirek continues absorbing unicorn magic, Discord appears before him and binds him in chains. And this is where my love for Tirek begins to become a great villain to me.
Help me to grow strong and be rewarded with something far greater than friendship. Freedom. Once I've stripped these ponies of their magic, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to see their world turned upside down. Who better to do so than the master of chaos himself? Unless, of course, Pony Errand Boy is the role you've always wanted to play in this world.
Performance-wise, he's really intimidating with a greater explanation of what he is capable of without having to explain anything himself. And now, the cherry on the cake, his cunning mind and quick wit. From the way he is able to propose to Discord of an alliance and offer him something better than friendship, piquing his interest with silver-tongued words to get him what he wants at the same time. You are an evil bastard. I love it. Anyway, going back to the main six, Twilight takes into consideration Discord's suggestion on considering the book for the answers, reminiscing on the memories of receiving the gifts of their elements, such as spool of yarn, the flower, the chicken, the wonderbolt, and a coin.
Come on, Boneless! Give us that key!
Yeah, okay, Pinky. I know that you're the fourth wall breaker of the world, but beating up a toy chicken isn't going to result. I really need to learn logic doesn't exist with Pinky. One by one they transform the objects into keys until they see that one key has left to be discovered. Before anything can be considered, she's called away to see the other princesses, only to find out that the formed villain has deformed and has joined up with the eviler one. And you thought this plan would be a good idea. Why, Celestia?
We must rid ourselves of our magic before Tirek has the chance to steal it from us.
Wait, whoa. Hold on a sec. I'm sorry, did I miss the part where the other princesses had any say in this exactly? So far, you're the one who's made every decision. Luna, Cadence, speak up, you bitches!
Our magic cannot just disappear into thin air. Some pony must keep it safe.
That some pony is you, Twilight.
Oh my Emperor, you're as easy to believe anything like snips and snails. Besides that little bit of a forced decision making it a good thing and a stupid idea. On the one hand, Tirek doesn't know about another Alicorn princess, okay, but she doesn't know how to control her own magic, let alone 2 1,000-year-plus old hags, and however old you are, Cadence. I'm sorry to say this, Twilight, but you're right. You aren't appreciated. You're just treated like a chest in Minecraft for everyone to dump their stuff in. Regardless though, they go ahead with it and Twilight must escape before Tirek finds them.
Back off, traitor!
The only one Discord betrayed was himself, abandoning his true nature to make friends with weak-minded equines who offer him nothing.
Oh no, they did. Are you serious? They did, didn't they? He's a freaking powerhouse now. Great! All previous perks of making him an interesting character have completely been destroyed. Okay, so there are some do's and don'ts that are essential for creating an interesting villain. Some are basic and some designers half fall into no matter what. Some examples might be the most common one, edgelords. Just characters that are over the top in design and motives that just have to point out, I'm the bad guy, without putting their thought into them. And then they're just going around acting like they're the best at everything and should all fear them. Or there is the other one, powerhouses. The characters that once they get power to their name, they become uninteresting because I don't need to talk when I can just whoosh you away with my powers. Which is what they do with Tirek. He was sly-tongued, mysterious, could manipulate Discord by simply telling him the truth. Now look at him, the MLP Hulk. That's all he is now. They even replaced his sly and creepy and slightly arousing voice that he had. And now every time this guy talks, it just sounds like I'm listening to Leonidas from 300.
Is this meant to be humorous? Princess Twilight, you have something that belongs to me. Where is your magic?
This is bullshit!
Knowing that soon every Pegasus, unicorn, and earth pony will bow to my will.
Did he just make a Dragon Ball reference? Anyway. Tirek learns of Twilight and sets out to search for her, believing getting her friends, he can gather all he needs and to be more than a match for Twilight.
Surely you saw this coming?
I didn't. I really didn't.
Irony!
Against us.
Us? Who said anything about us?
Surely you saw this coming.
I didn't. I truly didn't.
Again. Irony! Near the ancient castle, Twilight continues practicing her new powers with some difficulty. And that's an understatement. When Tirek appears and demands her magic, Twilight desperately avoids him, resulting in... Whoa! You killed the library! That thing's been there since episode 1, you jerk! Wow! That is way over the top. Where the hell did you go from there? Hey, watch. Applejack Daniels on the rocks. Make it a double.
Here you go, buddy. So, what's with you? You look like you've just got the fandom ripped out of you.
I'm doing a review on Twilight Castle and...
Ah, say no more. Let me guess, you just got to the part where Tirek blew up the library, didn't you?
Yep.
And Twilight just fired off her magic, didn't she?
Oh, yeah.
I know how you're feeling, bro. It's hard for anyone to take that scene in, and to follow it up, we got Twilight going on a rage storm of anger and revenge. I mean, the visuals are amazing. I can't believe that was made in Flash, but still. It's just so hard to think that from episode 1, something as forgotten about in the background, always being used as a place of scenery, and now, it's just gone. How is anybody supposed to cope with that at all at once? Especially the kids. So much just gone.
Wow, what? You really know how to lighten the mood.
Oh, right, sorry. Anyway, the important thing about this is that you remember all the fun times you had. Even though it's gone, you can always enjoy what lies ahead. Just go with your gut feeling all the way.
You know what? You're right. I'm gonna go back in there and go with my gut feeling on this. Thanks a lot, Watch. I might be able to pull this off after all.
Hey, no worries, bro. Trust me, I was in a bad spot too when I saw the library got destroyed for the first time.
The library? Oh, I don't give a shit about the library.
Wait, what?
No, I just couldn't figure out what joke to use about the Princess Rage Quit. I had so many I could come up with that didn't know which one to choose. So now, I think I'm just gonna go with all of them. Thanks again for your help, Watch.
What just happened here?
Well then, here are my top taking the piss out of the animation team memes.
I'm a fire in my laser!
What the fuck?
And the #1 laser meme is...
Oh yeah, it's a goddamn dinosaur laser fight. Oh yeah, hell yeah, just a classic dinosaur laser fight.
It appears we are at an impasse. How about a trade, Princess Twilight? Their release for all the Alicorn magic in Equestria.
Oh, so they did remember to keep him a little bit sly and cunning. How long is this gonna last for? Well, back to disliking you again. However, in this time, Twilight did sacrifice her own magic, and that of the other Alicorn magic, to save her friends and even Discord, showing her own role as Princess of Friendship at last. He gives him and depending on his actions, Discord gives a medallion to Twilight that Tirek gave to him earlier to trick him for his loyalty, becoming a sign of true friendship. And as far as I know, this is the first time that they all actually acknowledge that they all have rainbow eye shimmers. Yet they've never really talked about it. Which kind of makes no sense. Why would you not want to talk about it? Regardless, they think that that would be the last key, and they race towards the tree of plot devices before Tirek notices what they're up to.
I see you.
Twilight and friends return to the chest, where Twilight Medallion turns into the last key. So what did they unlock? A great spell? A portal back to Tartarus? The Matrix of Leadership to light our darkest hour? Come on, this is totally that sort of moment. What the hell am I looking at? Okay, so there's Going Super Saiyan, there's the Power Rangers, there's Captain Planet, there's Thundercats, He-Man, Mew Mew Power, Sailor Moon, but this is epilepsy! Good God, what the hell did they do to all of you? There is just way too much to focus on here. They look like what's happened if you give a 2-year-old hair extensions and stickers from a magazine to decorate their favourite doll. And if that wasn't enough, they have one more eye-inducing abuse to close out Tirek's reign coming to an end.
Taste the rainbow, motherfucker!
Now, I know what you might all be thinking. With all of the visuals abuse that has happened, I should be screaming in pure rage after the castle appears out of the ground. Well, actually not really. Either it's because since we're on season 7 now, and I've just gotten used to it all this time, but I can remember when I first saw it that I didn't really mind looking at this thing, for a few reasons. First, the rainbow power-ups only last a brief period of time, and a very wise decision. Any longer staring at those eyesores and even lightning bliss would be ringing in the distance. Another point is that we've gotten so used to crystal structures, thanks to the Crystal Empire, that the design does fit to my eyes. And finally, the Circle of Friendship. I love this visual. Just a simple council of friendship brought together like the Knights of the Round Table from King Arthur. Not to mention the end song that highlights all of the other friends we meet along the way, and the rainbow shimmer swirls around each of them to show what a big part they had to play. Or, as Twilight puts it,
together we will always shine.
My opinion, perfect way to end the series. And that was Twilight's Kingdom, and the end of the Rainbow story arc. Such a way to end. Nostalgia, references, visual, both good and eye-wrenching, but a wonderful finish to a series. So let's break this down. The story straight from the get-go lets us understand that even though Twilight has a title and a formality in Equestria, and now she doesn't feel like she does. Enter the events in the show that she has more to offer to any pony that could ever hope to expect, including herself. It's a great lesson for discovering your place in the world, and that with your friends beside you, you can accomplish so much, even when paying homage to past lessons learned. The good, the bad and the ugly, and even bringing back a nostalgic villain from G1 series. Not so sure why Scorpan wasn't included in this, but you can't always have everything. This was an amazing episode to follow story-wise. Even if I don't agree with the way that Tirek went from Master of Manipulation to the Red Hulk, still I'm going to give story as silver. As for animation, on the one hand, it's entertaining in the same aspect that with the references and the magic, but other times it's a nightmarish vision, where there is just way too much to follow. In other words, anything made by Michael Bay, be it over-the-top magic duels between Tirek and Twilight, the rainbow power-ups like it's Mega Man, you take your pick. There is just so much over-exaggeration and overexposure to light and flashes. Impressive in places, but a little too much. For that, animation gets silver. And lastly, we have the moral. The moral is very nicely tied in with the story. Being for Twilight, don't think yourself so low because just because you haven't found your place yet, doesn't mean you won't. Actually, now that I think about it, this is actually quite similar to a formula for a CMC episode. Think about it. The CMCs always strive to find their place by looking for what they are good at, what they would be a reward with at the end being a cutie mark for their accomplishments, and finding out where they belong in the world, only to find out that what they are good at doing is helping others with their places in the world. Now, with this episode, Twilight searches for her role as a princess of Equestria, but cannot find it clearly. But when events take place where she needs to rely on her friends and the powers of friendship, which is what she is princess of after all, with all they have accomplished with their goals because the Council of Friendship is what they're there for, always connected by it. Not by magic items, but what is within inside them the entire time. And with that, moral gets gold. That's the end of the show, and that's the end of the series. I hope you all enjoyed the story arc, my friends. And if anyone has any other ideas for story arcs, then by all means let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if there's an episode, a subject matter, or even a fan-made animation you want me to review, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll see what I can do. I'm the editor, and cut that's a wrap.